What's up guys, welcome back to the Omais, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Niko Bellic, one of the best written characters in GTA. So let's not waste any time, let's get straight into the video. Niko Bellic is a very complex and unique as well as a layered character. He's very well written and there are a lot of different ways to describe him because throughout the game he does a lot of questionable things and you can't help but wonder, if it's the right thing to do. And this really ties in with the choices that you make in the game. Niko Bellic, an ex-European soldier, he goes to Liberty City to escape his criminal past and pursue the American dream, as well as find Florian Kravik, who betrayed his unit 10 years prior to the story. And this is very unique, and I really like this story and with Niko Bellic because as you play through the game, you work with a lot of different people. You get paid, you make favors for these different people that you work with, these different criminals, and you can't help but wonder if what you're doing is the right thing. Niko, he's only trying to survive in Liberty City, get a paycheck, survive, and protect, his cousin Roman and pursue the American dream. Throughout the game, Niko Bellic meets a lot of different criminals and he does a lot of different favors for these criminals in order to make some decent money for him to basically survive in Liberty City and Roman. And these favors that Niko does for these certain people, he does the job, gets the money, but he never really has a connection with these people, the people that he's working with, because you'd be surprised that throughout the game, Niko does kill a lot of different people that he used to work with. And it's either because they did him wrong or, they betrayed him or something like that. For example, Dimitri. And Niko's just trying to survive no matter what favors he does for these people or who he works with. He kills a lot of different people that he works with because they either did him wrong. I mean, in the beginning of the game, we do kill Vlad, and Niko does get betrayed by Dimitri, and he's just trying to survive in Liberty City and pursue that American dream. But at the same time, he does want to find Florian Kravik. I mean, he betrayed him and killed all his friends. And throughout the game, especially in shootouts, this is also prominent in the dialogue when he's shooting or killing characters, NPCs. Like, you can just hear the rage that he has and his past that's still haunting him, back when he was, an ex-soldier. You can still hear his anger and just how rageful he is towards his enemies and the people who did him wrong. And throughout the game, even though we do work with certain different criminals and all that to get paid, Niko does do a few favors for certain people who might have some information on Florian, and he does these favors, and a lot of the time, Niko doesn't want to do what he has to do, kill certain people or keep working with these criminals, but in the game, he's put into certain situations where he doesn't have a choice. His friends could be killed, Roman could be killed, or he could be killed himself, or he could get some information on Florian if he just does the job. And throughout the game, Niko doesn't want to do what he has to do. For example, in the mission where we have to choose between killing Derek and this other cop, I did forget his name, it was a while back when I played this mission, but this was a prime example of Niko having to do what he has to do, not because he wants to do it, but because he has to survive. It's either him, it's either you or me. That's the mindset of Niko, and you can either choose to kill Derek or kill the guy who has dirt on Niko. And in the game, depending on what you chose, I chose to kill the cop that had dirt on Niko. And honestly, this just shows that you can't mess with him. Niko is willing to do whatever it takes in order to survive and basically pursue the American dream and find Florian Kravik. And until eventually, when you get to the point of the game where Niko actually gets that chance to finally get his revenge on the man who ruined his life, the man who's been haunting him ever since he got to Liberty City, Florian Kravik. At this point in time in the mission, we finally get to pursue Florian and kill him. after doing different favors for these different people and having to do things that Niko doesn't want to do, he finally gets a chance to get his revenge on Florian. And right after he does it, there was a point in the game where he could either choose to give him mercy or just straight out kill him. And Niko, in my gameplay, I did kill him. And after doing that, you can see he shoots Florian repeatedly over and over again, letting out his anger that he's been feeling for the entire game. And after doing that, after finally doing the thing that he wanted to do, the things that he wanted to do when he got to Liberty City was pursue the American dream and find the man who betrayed him, killed all his friends. And after he did that, he got what he wanted. He killed Florian Kravik. It's not over, in the dialogue, Niko mentions how he feels empty. And after killing him, you, the player, after killing him, you can't help but wonder, was it worth it? Because Niko feels empty. He got what he wanted. Roman wants the violence to be over. He wants Niko to settle down with Kate and stop all the crime, all the violence. But Niko feels nothing after finally getting the revenge and letting out all the anger that he feels, all the rage that he was carrying out throughout the game, and all these favors that he was doing for these different criminals and NPCs. And the really scary thing about Niko Bellic is you can't help but wonder, how far would he be willing to go for his survival? How far would he be willing to go in order to get, some money, or for his survival, or protect Roman and the people that he loves? Because throughout the game, we meet different criminals, different characters, and Niko doesn't have any personal thing with these characters. If he has to do it, he would kill them for his survival. And you can't help but wonder, how far will he be willing to go for his survival in the game? And that's honestly the scary thing about Niko. You can't help but... After Niko had gotten his revenge that he had been always waiting for on Florian Kravik, there's still one more thing that he had to do, which was pursuing and getting the American dream. And after finally getting his revenge, feeling empty, it wasn't what he thought it would be. He feels empty, well, as Roman wants all this violence to stop. I mean, by now you would think it would be over, but Niko feels nothing. He feels empty, but he's still in pursuit of the American dream. And this is a callback from what I said earlier in the video. What is he willing to do? How far is he willing to go in order to pursue the American dream? Because by now in the game, it's no longer about survival. I mean, Niko already has a decent amount of money. Right now, it's purely ambition, and after this, we really get to see how far Niko is willing to go, the stakes, what he'd be willing to do, and who he'd be willing to hurt in order to get the American dream that he had been waiting for, and the reason that he came to Liberty City in the first place. So he continues to work with Jerry, who is in prison, and basically does a lot of different shady things with him, such as kidnapping this other girl and selling her out for ransom. But in that moment, when they're about to do the deal, the exchange, he gets ambushed by the same people who basically did him wrong earlier throughout the game. And once again, that rage that he had felt earlier in the game with Florian Kravik awakens for, the people who basically did him wrong earlier in the game. And he continues to kill his enemies and basically kill them and basically get away. And then we continue to do more business with Jerry and all that, until in the very last part of the game when we meet up with Pegoroni, and he basically asks Niko to do something that he never thought he would be asked to do, work with Dimitri and do a deal. And earlier in the game, Dimitri is one of those business associates that did Niko wrong, and that vengeful, that rage that he had felt earlier for Florian Kravik is also for Dimitri, because he burned, Roman's house down. He tried to kill the people that he cared about. And obviously, Niko doesn't want to work with Dimitri, after everything that he had done. And this is the part in the game that's really big, the choice that you have to make. You can either make the deal with Dimitri or take your revenge. And this was something that I really wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make the deal, because at the same time, Niko wants the American dream, it's big money. but also it would be going against his principles. This guy did Niko wrong, Dimitri. He tried to kill Roman, he burned his house down, ruined Niko's life, and he would be going against his principles to just work with him for money. And Kate as well, the person who Niko also cares about, Kate, also reassures him that she wouldn't have any respect for Niko if he just went back to working with him for money and basically let the history repeat itself. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but eventually I chose to basically get my revenge on Dimitri. And honestly, this is the rage that Niko's been feeling for Dimitri for a while, and it would be going against his own principles to simply work with him again just for Pegoroni. So Niko goes in and kills all of Dimitri's associates, and right there again, that fire is awakened. He's angry, he's rageful, and basically he wants to get his vengeance, man. Like, this guy ruined Niko, and when he finally killed him, then again, he feels nothing, the job was done, but this time he sort of felt something. He didn't have to work with these criminals anymore. It was over. He killed all the people who had did him wrong. He had gotten his revenge, all the people that had done him wrong. And throughout the game, you can't help but think, like, was all of this worth it, killing all of these business associates, the people who did Niko wrong? I mean, who was the bad guy in this game? I mean, Niko did a lot of shady things for different people, but at the same time, it was for his survival to pursue the American dream. It's for his survival, and the same people who did him wrong. He did a lot of shady things as well throughout the game, but at the same time, he was put into situations where he didn't have a choice. So basically, Roman, is about to have a wedding, and Niko thinks about settling down with Kate. I mean, everything's done. He's no longer working with Pegoroni. All of his enemies are killed. It's finished, and even you, the player, think it's all over. Just as, Niko's about to settle down and let his past be the past, he's no longer this rageful, vengeful character, this person. He's going to settle down with Kate. Just as things are going well, Pegorino comes in and kills the one person who is going to change Niko. He kills Kate. But, depending on what you chose, whether you chose to do the deal or not, this is going to be different, for the, character of Niko. But I did choose to get revenge, so this is what happened, Pegorino killed the one person Niko was going to settle down with, the one person who could have changed Niko for the better, because throughout the game, even though it was just for surviving, Niko did a lot of bad things. To different people. He killed a lot of different people for his survival, and Kate was going to be the one person who changed him for the better, made him a better man. And honestly, I really thought this was going to be some good character development for Niko. He was not going to be this rageful, vengeful character, killing all his enemies, getting revenge on all his enemies anymore, but that was taken away from him. And once again, that rage, that anger, that vengefulness that he had felt early in the game comes back. And basically, the one thing he was running away from, his past, that criminal, past that he had back 10 years prior in the game, basically chases him back. He's back to it. Again, getting revenge on people who did him wrong. Undoing the progress that he had had with Kate, trying to be a better person and settle down with someone that could have changed him for the better. And he goes out of his way to kill him. I mean, this guy did him wrong. He killed the one person he really cared about, Kate. And honestly, this is just one part that I really feel like just shows just how well written Niko is, but also just how much of a tragic character he is. I mean, throughout all the events that had happened in the game, he did those things for his survival, but now the one person who was going to change him for the better was just taken away from him, and he goes back to the very thing he wanted to get away from, that criminal past, that vengefulness. And he does kill Pegorino in the end, but he feels nothing, The people that he cared about was dead. He wasn't even in pursuit of the American dream anymore, because everything he cared about was gone because of this one guy, this criminal. And honestly, this is just really something that really made me admire just how well written and complex Niko is, because he's not a good guy. He does a lot of bad things, but sometimes, he does it for the people that he cares about, whether it's for Roman, for the protection of Roman or Kate or even himself for his own survival. You can't help but wonder, was he the bad guy in his own story? Everything that he had done up till now, trying to get away from his past, getting revenge on Florian Kravik, getting back at the people who had did him wrong, all the people that he had killed from the beginning of the game up till now, all those people that he had hurt, the girl that he kidnapped, the shady things that he did for these other criminals. You can't help but wonder, is Niko the bad guy? He did all these wrong things, and he's honestly just a complex character. There's a lot of different ways you can describe him, whether he's a psychotic maniac who likes killing people, because he does kill a lot of people in this game, but he's also someone in need of redemption, or someone who's just trying to survive, or a vengeful character. There's so many different ways you can describe Niko Bellic, but honestly, when you look back at everything that had happened in the game, all the people you killed, all the people you got back at who did Niko wrong, you can't help but wonder if he wasn't the bad guy in his own story. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a bit of a tough one to make because, Niko is a complex character with all the things that he does in the game. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also comment down your thoughts on Niko Bellic, whether you think he's this vengeful character or someone in need of redemption, or if you think the things that he did throughout the game, all the people he killed, is justified. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe to become of the Meisters. That's just something I came up with, a few days ago, like the Meisters and all that stuff. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I honestly don't really know what the title of this video is going to be, whether it's going to be one of the best written characters in GTA, or, Niko Bellic, a tragic character, because like I said, there's just so many different ways to describe him. He's such a complex character. But that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down your thoughts. I'm the Meister, and I'll see you guys next time.